Hi guys, I wanted to make a quick video for Thankful Thursday about why I'm so thankful for this book and why I teach it every year. I'm filming it outside because my son and I, Harry and I, made this heart to display. You're supposed to display a heart in your window or something to show people that you care about them. I don't really remember why we did that, but it was something we were supposed to do. And the real reason I'm filming outside is because my kids are driving me nuts and they won't stop making noise. So I came outside. All right, so for Thankful Thursday, I am super thankful for this novel. And one of the reasons I teach it every year is because it's not super common in school, at least when I was in school, to hear a female voice, to have a woman writing a story. When I was in school, pretty much all of the books I read were written by men. And another thing that makes me really thankful for this book is not only was it written by a woman, but it was written by a woman outside of the United States. And that's just something when I was growing up, I wasn't exposed to a lot of women's voices, especially not a lot of women who were maybe different than me from other places who had different experiences. And so I think it's really important that we read about people who aren't exactly the same as we are, people who have had different experiences, because when you read this novel, even though it's set in Nigeria, I think a lot of us can make a lot of connections to the characters, to Cambili and her struggles, even though hopefully no one is facing something quite as difficult as she is. It helps us see that all across the world, we really have more in common than we have different. We can make connections to this character who lives in a completely different country at a different time, right? Because this novel is set in the 90s. But our common humanity is what unites us. And then also, I just think it's really important as a teacher for my students to, like I said, hear different voices, hear women's voices, but also just to understand that all stories are worth telling. And this is a story from a 15-year-old's perspective. And that's how old you guys, my students, are when you read this. And so I hope that in some way it inspires you to speak out and to tell your own stories. Right now, we are living in history. This outbreak, this pandemic, this distance learning, this is all brand new to us. And so maybe this story can help inspire you to create your own story, to tell your own story. And no, the author was not 15 when she wrote this book, but she was 24, I believe, when it was published or something. She wrote it, started writing it in college, and she had it published. She was young when she had it published. So, I just hope that you find this inspiring, that your voice is worth hearing, your story is worth telling. And I hope that you made some connection to this novel and enjoyed it in some small part. And that's why on this Thankful Thursday, I am thankful for Purple Hibiscus and my students and this cool cover where we can do cool things like this.